Yo guys, what's going on? It's your boy BurkCrown88 coming at you with a squad battles video today. It's time to talk about squad battles. It's been a couple of weeks now. Everyone's had time to assess it, go over what they wanted to go over, and figure out the best way to score and play against this defense. So what I'm going to do here today is I'm going to go over squad battle rankings, how it works, the progression, and kind of the points you need to worry about. Come into the end of the week, like the last day or two before squad battles ends, what kind of aggressive push forward you can see from people, and that last jump, what you can expect if you're sitting there at the last hour wondering how many points you need. If I'm 1,500 up, what do I need to stay in Elite 1 if I'm at that cusp? So I'm going to talk about all that, guys. I'm going to talk about what you should do with your time, depending on what type of player you are, how much time you have, what you should go for. But if you do enjoy the video, guys, give it a thumbs up. And at the end of this video, and after I go over everything, points, all that, packs, all that stuff, how the leaderboard works and what you should do and how you should approach it, I'm going to add goals, a couple of different goals that I score, how I score them, and I'm going to record clips from games, but I will voice over and just explain to you what I'm doing to make it easier to talk about it while it's happening. So I'm going to talk about squad battles, then we're going to get into a couple of different goals to help you guys out. I hope you do enjoy it. If you do, give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to hit that sub button and notification bell so you don't miss anything in the future. Let's get into it, guys. I hope you enjoy it, and let's tackle squad battles. Okay, so first things first, what you need to know is 16 minutes from the end of the squad battles week, you're looking at 91,000, 91,000, 91,000, 91,000, 91,000, 89,000. So that 89,000 is a significant drop, guys. That is about 2,000. That is where you're going to be looking at not getting max points every single game. So the 91,596 is about 2,474 points per game. And then the 89 is like 80, 90 points per game, less than that. And now you got to take out the two team of the weeks, squad of the week stuff, the featured battles, because they're it's pointed a little different. So as long as you can max out those two, you don't need to max every single one. I would say, given off of what I've been seeing over the last couple of weeks, I would say you could probably miss on maxing 3 to 4 games and you might be okay. But if you get in that area where you're not hitting max points in 3 games, maybe get yourself to what we're seeing here at 57,000 coins. So if you get yourself to 60,000 coins and you just stop there, 60,000 coins should get you Elite 1 week in and week out. So if you don't max everything, that's fine. But if you can't max every game but like 3, like if you're 1 refresh in and you've already missed out on a max, maybe just go to 60,000 coins and stop there. Save yourself the time, move on to something else. Now, if you're ever curious, you can always view the lines of the teams you're going to be facing. Just if you're wondering what you're facing or how you can go about it, or if you're just curious of what kind of teams people are building, if you press triangle or Y on Xbox, it'll show you the team that you're going to face, and you can look at what kind of style they're at. We have noticed though that synergies aren't a thing yet this year. Maybe they're not a thing at all. That is something you can go over. Look at the team. Like, this team should be fairly easy for you to handle on Superstar. Depending on your skill level, like everybody, this team is built fairly easy to handle. So hopefully they wouldn't be hard for everyone to take down. So when it comes to what type of player you are in squad battles, if you're a max point player, you're going to put the time in and you're going to try to grind top 100 every single time. If you're occasionally a max player, and when I mean occasionally, I mean you'll max 50% of your games and you won't max the other 50, then stop at 60,000. As we see, it was 57,000. It's already 58,000. That's that jump I was going to talk about. I'll get into that in a minute. But if you're a player that maxes 50% of the time, stop at 60,000, because 60,000 will get you Elite 1. If you are a player that doesn't win on Superstar, don't play Superstar. You're just going to frustrate yourself. You're just going to get mad. And that's not the point of the game. The point of the game is to be fun. So when it comes down to this in particular situation where you're not beating the computer on Superstar, drop it down to the level in which you beat the computer. That's it. Don't drop it down so far that you're beating the AI by 5. Drop it down to the level in which you are just beating the computer. Because if you do that for a while where you're struggling to beat them but you're beating them, eventually you'll get better at beating them, and you'll notice that you're winning by more. It's getting a little easier. Don't wait to get to max points. If you're noticing you're going from struggling to, okay, I know I'm going in and I'm going to win this game, that's when you jump up a level. And then you put yourself back at struggling. I know struggling's not fun, But if you are constantly pushing yourself and struggling to win games, you're not going to notice it right away, but you are progressively getting yourself better. So if you're not winning on Superstar, don't fixate on your points. Whatever points you get week in, week out, you get. But drop down to the difficulty of winning and improve yourself from there. The points you only worry about when you're the points you only worry about when you're on Superstar. Don't worry about this leaderboard until you get playing on Superstar. Worry about trying to get yourself there, and the points will come. The points will come. Now, the other thing I wanted to bring up before I get into looking at how to score some goals is the jump that you can anticipate. So if you're sitting here in the last 5 hours or the last 3 hours and you're like, do I have enough points? Do I have enough points? I'm sitting at 60,000. They had, I think a couple hours ago, it was at 54,000. Do I have enough points? The general rule of thumb is every hour it goes up by 1,000. 800 to 1,000 is what Elite 1 will climb at. When you get down to Elite 2, it climbs at around 600 to 700 an hour. When you get to Elite 3, it climbs about 200 to 500 an hour. And when you're pro and down, it doesn't really fluctuate much in the last day. When you're pro 1 and down, if you're in your spot, you're in your spot, and you've gotten yourself there and you've stopped and you're not playing anymore because you just want to get a couple of packs and some coins. The big jumble up, the big shuffle around is from Elite 1, 2, and 3, and that is in and around how many it moves. It doesn't move by much per hour. So if you're 60,000 right now, you're solid. If you're 42,000 right now in Elite 2, you're right on that cusp, but solid. And then 32,000 in Elite 3 is definitely solid. So like that is the movement that you can expect, guys. And even now, top 100 has moved to 90,000, so it has closed that threshold a little bit. That's why I say if you don't max points 3 of your games, stop at 60,000 and go do something else. But let's get into some different style of goals, different ways to score in this game mode, how I do it, how I approach getting goals and making the game a little easier on myself. There's going to be two main ones that you're going to see me go for, but I'll try to mix in as many as I can. So this one here is off the face-off. I win it back to my defenseman, and I quickly pass it up to the dot. And what you're going to notice here is the defensemen are split, so you can step right through them. This is a good face-off goal to get in squad battles because you're going to walk it to the backhand. The goalie's going to step over, and he's going to give you the entire side. What you're noticing here is, you got to watch and get around the poke check. But when you come to this backhand here, just to the outside, it's just the quickest little backhand right here. That right there is the quickest little backhand. The goalie's going to step over to the side just a little, and he's going to go down into the butterfly. And he's going to send the poke check because of how close you are, and you can just throw it around him nice and easy once you get the timing figured out. Now this one, on the other hand, is I'm walking the blue line while I'm using my defenseman, and I'm going to dart through the middle. And again, it's like the breakaway, except there's people around you. That's the only difference if you look at it that way. It's the exact same as the breakaway, but you got to navigate around people a little bit. So I'm going to come into the middle, and when I come into the middle, I'm going to throw it to my backhand again, right to the backhand, and the goalie's going to set. He's not sliding to the post, but he's setting to the right side of the net. And then I'm going to come back to my forehand when I get around this defender and pull it around the goalie. And then that, again, is just an easy shot in goal. That all comes down to timing. So yes, those two are timing based and slightly tricky. This one's a little trickier than the other because you're navigating around people. But as long as you watch what you're doing and you react to it, it's not that bad. It's the exact same as a breakaway. If you put it in the mindset and you try to do it like it's a breakaway, look at this straight open shot I got here. And then the only real trouble I have is with number 8 in front of my defenseman, or in front of my forward, and then deking the goalie. So I deke to the backhand, and then I come to forehand once I get around the defenseman. So this is another look at the face-off. So you can either do a breakout, forehand, backhand goal like I showed you already, or when you get the face-off, I'm showing you this angle to show you it's a set face-off. You know, your defense on the blue line, your wing back there. But the other winger is coming with me, right? Verhaeghe is coming with me, so I'm going to come down here with Kadri. And this point here, Kadri does have a step on Yossi, so I could do a backhand forehand or a forehand backhand and try to find the space. But I notice, as you see off to my right, Verhaeghe is coming in with some good speed, and I know he's going to keep up with me, and he's driving the net. So I know that this is going to be the easier way to get a goal than to do the technical deke, and I can just force myself down into below the circle area. And now that I'm between the circle and the goal line, the goalie is hemmed in on this puck. He is full on this puck. He is not getting over. He is not going to make that one-timer save that we're used to because there's just no time for him to react and collapse on that puck. So now when I'm down below the circle and before the goal line, I'm going to send it over, and there's just nothing this goalie can do. Verhaeghe's got the easiest goal. He's going to get down and over, but Verhaeghe's just got the easiest goal to put in the net, and that's another way of doing it. Okay, now this one's a failed attempt, but I still wanted to show you it to get you the general idea. The puck came from over here. So normally what I would do with this skater is I would come off the boards here, and I would come out and cut in front of the goalie and go far side. But this defenseman, Dougie Hamilton, hung me up. So I threw it behind the net for the alternative option, which always works out for a good goal as well. And that's to Carter Verhaeghe. He's going to come around. Now, normally what you'd do here is you'd shoot it far side. But Sakic closed in on me tight, so I'm just going to rip it at the net. And this is where the failed attempt happens, making something out of nothing. Zach Hyman picks it up, flips it in the net. That was just a broken play that turned into a goal. But it was designed up until Sakic closed down real tight. Because you won't get Sakic closing that tight as normal, and you could just spit right around the goalie like an NHL 23 goal, kind of. And here's another look at, again, this time instead of Brian Leetch, it's just Connor Timmins. And I wanted to show you one with Connor Timmins, because then that's a way of saying, hey, Brian Leetch is an 87 team builder, yes, but you can do it with an 80 Connor Timmins. And here goes Connor Timmins again. As I'm skating around, yes, we have Wendell Clark at the circle, but look at all this space. That up here, through the middle, is essentially a breakaway. Yes, there's a bunch of guys around you, but that's essentially a breakaway with all that space. So I'm going to curl and head right for that gap, and I'm just going to deke the goalie now. Forgetting that everybody is there, I'm going to throw the goalie wide with the backhand, and then I'm going to bring it to my forehand, and I'm going to flip it in the net. And that is all based on how I'm skating and approaching the goalie, because like if you look, I am on the right side. The goalie should, with all fairness, stay to the right. But because right here I push to center to left motion, the goalie slides over with me. And you see him moving. He goes down into the butterfly, giving me nothing but space on the right side, which is where I still currently am. But with my momentum, it carried the goalie away from the post. This one here I'm going to show you is a one-timer goal. And people have been saying they have trouble getting goals in squad battles with one-timers with the AI breaking it up. Maybe it's because you're forcing it. You can't force against the AI like you can online. If you force in squad battles, it's just going to get you every time. So what I'm noticing here is I'm making my split decision right now. Do I send that cross crease, or do I wrap around the net and look for something else? The reason I send this cross crease is because this defenseman's back is to Joe Nieuwendyk. If he had been facing this way and his stick had been in this area, I wouldn't have sent the pass because he would have broken it up. But because he's back skating, his stick's in the air, facing away from the play, this defenseman is worried about this forward, Mitch Marner, here, so their sticks are tied up. This is a clean path where nothing is going to break through it. As that defenseman turns, you're seeing him now get his stick into the lane where it needs to be. He was just late to the party, and that's going in the net. If I had waited to pass the puck right here, like if I'm passing the puck now, that defenseman's breaking up that play. But because I passed it before he got a chance to turn, the clean 1T in the net. This here is a look at the goal I was talking about, where I'm coming behind the net with William Nylander. This is where I failed with Verhaeghe, but Nylander's just a nice clean back behind the net, shoot it across the goalie with a backhand in the net for a goal. Thank you guys for watching the Squad Battles video. I hope you did enjoy it. And like I said, those are just goals from me playing Squad Battles. That's just how I usually try to get the goals. It's the easiest way for me. If you got an easier way, throw that in the comment section down below. And again, sorry for the voiceover, but it was easier to play squad battles and record it, clip it out, and then voiceover. It was just, it made it easier to talk about it while I was going, explain what I was doing while I was still trying to score the goals. Because squad battles, you don't need the extra distraction, to be honest with you. But anyways, thank you for watching, guys. Till next time. Ciao, ciao.